Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Giddy Things. I'm Patty, and welcome if it's your first time here. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. If you haven't already, please do hit like and subscribe and get ready to comment in the videos if you have questions or things you'd like to add to the content of this video. So what are we here today to discuss? We're here today to discuss what happens if you graduate high school, or you have in the past graduated high school and not had the most stellar GPA available on the point scale. That is not anything that should prevent you to getting into the college of your choice or to moving forward in the professional world. We're going to focus here on college entrance with a high school GPA that could have been higher, right? And there are 4 really good ways with a 5th bonus tip, and it's going to be the one that's going to be fantastic, to make sure that you have a strong application to a college and to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. Number 1, make sure that you take more than one time if necessary and perform as well as you can on standardized tests like the ACT and the SAT. Now, we are not talking about tests that are associated with state funding or state measures. Not the standards of learning in Virginia, for example, not the LEAP test in Louisiana, for example. We're talking about the ACT and the SAT, which are commonly accepted as college entrance data points. What is a data point? It's something that gives the college more information about you. Colleges don't just look at the GPA that you come out of high school with and go, oh, well, that's the kind of student you are. Not at all. Be of great courage. They look at those situations and say, I wonder what else there is to learn about this student. Well, one of the things they can learn about you is that you have performed on a standardized achievement test like the SAT or the ACT. Now, that having been said, you don't have to perform well on the entire test. Most people understand that in the real world, not everybody is great at every subject. We all have our areas of strength and our areas of challenge. And in this situation, if your area of challenge is math, make sure that you do well enough by going back and studying and getting some basic ideas in mind by using free resources like Khan Academy, which I'll link in the description. But also make sure that you really shine in the areas you're most interested in. So if you're more of a person like I am who enjoys the humanities and reading and writing and speaking, make sure that you shine in that area. And again, you can prepare. It's not the end of the world if you don't feel ready for it right now. You can take the SAT and the ACT in numerous situations with accommodations sometimes, but make sure you check with those organizations to see what's available to you if you have any kind of accommodations needs or if you're nervous about taking tests. Number 2 has to do with your extracurricular activities. These are things that you did outside of school. They don't have to be the traditional things like football or baseball or drama club or glee club for that matter. They can be things that you did meaningfully to create life experiences for you and also to serve others while you were in high school or in the period of time between when you left high school and you want to apply to a college. Serving at a food bank is an excellent opportunity to get the experience you need to show a college that you are a well-rounded person. Remember from number 1, they're not just looking at one data point. They're looking at a variety of ways to see you as a whole person. Volunteer at the library. Do something that doesn't require a great deal of paperwork. Go pick up litter around your neighborhood, right? And get someone to do that with you or to supervise your doing that so that you can make a meaningful experience about it or out of it. If you want to, you can also do reflective work based on your extracurriculars. Do you already serve as a greeter at your church, or do you already volunteer in some way to help your synagogue or your temple or your mosque work in some way for the community? If that's the case, go ahead and get someone to help you write a reflection on that. Brainstorm it a little bit. The person who's maybe in charge of that program can help you, and they can also help in a further step, which is going to have to do with recommendation. Find people who are willing to write letters of recommendation for you. There are a couple of important points with this. You're probably going to need no more than about 3 or 4, but you might want to go to 5 if you have the opportunity to do so. If not, no worries, to make sure that you have some in the bank, because people get busy and maybe your recommendation is not the first thing on their list. They're not all college professors like I am, where letter recommendations are a thing that happened to me throughout the semester, and particularly toward the ends of semesters when students are graduating from the college where I teach. So, what's important in a person who's going to recommend you? Someone who has seen your heart, who has seen the product and the fruit of your soul as a kind person and can speak to you as a whole person. Remember, that's what the college wants to learn about. So, this is a person who is going to know you well enough to be able to speak in a professional manner about you. Are you worried that you don't have enough people to recommend you? Foster some relationships where people get to see you and your identity very clearly. And make that the moment where you start to say, at some point I'm probably going to need your recommendation. What would it take for you to see from me the kinds of things that you would need to see to recommend me highly to the college of my choice, and let the recommender guide you. Once you have gotten past that point and you think, okay, the letters of recommendation are going to turn out pretty well, make sure that you waive, WAIVE, your right to see the letters of recommendation. That may sound counterintuitive, but colleges pay more attention to letters of recommendation and give them more weight and more credit when people have waived their right to see the recommendation. That means that you trust your recommender and you trust your own character to speak for you through the person who's willing to recommend you. Finally, we're at 4. This is the compelling personal essay. You need to write an essay on your college application that is going to speak to all the things we've been working on in 1 through 3, right? So you've worked hard and you've taken that test and performed as well as you can, which your best is good enough, right? You have done all the things you need to make sure that you have extracurriculars that speak to who you are. You have gotten people to write you good letters of recommendation. So now it's time to close that loop on the story of you and make sure that the essay you write reflects you and also reflects the values and the mission of the college to which you're applying. After all, it needs to be a good fit, right? So in this case, you want to go first and look at the college's mission statement. The mission statement tells you who that college is and the kinds of students who might succeed there. You want to know if you're one of those people, right? And certainly the mission statement should tell you that. Once you've finished reading the mission statement and had some time to reflect on it, use it as a catalyst, as a springboard for writing your college admissions essay or application essay. Speak to why the college is a good fit for you, allowing the college's mission to lead you as a writing prompt. What's the 5th bonus tip? It's a good one. Consider attending a community college before you enter the college of your dreams, right? Community colleges are an awesome pathway to college success. First of all, you get to prove that you can take college courses and be successful in them. You get to learn a lot about the areas of interest you may have, try out different courses in different subjects, talk to the teaching professors who typically work at community colleges, and find out whether or not you are as interested in the areas that you thought you were as you thought you were, right? Another great thing about community college is they often have articulation agreements at community colleges. What this means is they have a set course of study for you to take, and after you're done, you might get expedited access to the colleges you want to attend based on the agreements they have with community colleges. What do you need to do to figure that out? Research, research, research. Find the community colleges in your area, the ones you might attend, and figure out where their articulation agreements go to for four-year or graduate institutions. And then figure out whether or not the mission statement of those colleges or mission statements fit in with your ideals for college. Another great thing about community college as a pathway to higher education, further higher education, is that you get to establish a new record, new extracurriculars, and new realms for meeting people who might write you letters of recommendation. Makes sense. So if you're at the community college, the high school GPA doesn't even really make that big of a difference because you are developing a permanent college record. A lot of people will tell you in high school that's your permanent record, and it's not really. Your permanent record starts when you enter your freshman year of college. That's an important thing to remember. So you're building at the community college a new academic record where you can start over, pay close attention, talk to advisors and faculty members on a regular basis to make sure that you're doing everything you can to maximize your college experience in its authentic state. And then also the record that you leave behind in your transcript, which is the record of your grades at a college or throughout your college career. So those are the really important steps. First of all, make absolutely sure that you've done your best on standardized tests associated with college entrance, such as the ACT and the SAT. Once you have done that, make sure that you are getting yourself into a position to build authentic experiences that lead to meaningful extracurriculars. At that point, you're ready to reach out, maybe even into some of those extracurricular activities, and ask people for letters of recommendation. Finally, you're writing a compelling essay that speaks to the mission statement of the college and to your goals for your academic future. As a bonus, you're going to think about attending a community college because a community college, again, is a great place to get a start and a fresh start to your academic career at the higher education level. I hope these tips have been incredibly helpful to you. If you have questions, please do ask them in the comments and I will be happy to respond. Please do hit like, subscribe, comment on the video as I mentioned, because that is one of the things that helps this channel grow and helps me to bring you original content like this that's practical for your college experience and beyond. Please do go in peace and love to serve others, and I'll see you in the next informative Giddy video.